empowered life. As you can see, we have a lovely guest with us. We've had some hiccups that I will not go into, so I'll definitely give you the floor and request you to introduce yourself. As per title, as you can see, Auntie Jackie has her own journey about her life from the Uganda to the UK, from the UK to Uganda, but I don't want to spoil it. I want her to take the floor and begin with her journey. Thank you so much for
Okay.
being here.
Thanks for having me. So my name is Aunt Jacqueline. I'm a YouTuber, and I've got a YouTube channel, Aunt Jackie's Diary. And on there, I just record my daily events and my relocation journey from Uganda to UK, UK to Uganda. That's who I
Okay.
am. And
Okay.
a mom of three.
Yes, nice to have you here, Auntie Cherokee.
Thank you.
So, as you see per my channel, it is all about social empowerment. So, we talk about different things, as considering that relocation and integration are part of my social empowerment topics that I talk about. There's so many people that dream of relocating, of greener pastures, due to different reasons, be it study, be it economical reasons. I thought that hearing your journey would be very insightful for someone to see like the whole picture, the cons, the pros, and be able to make a decision. So maybe you let us know the time span of when roughly did you move to the UK and what was the reason?
Okay. So, disclaimer, I'm no expert in terms of relocation.
Yes.
So again, like Rustov is saying, it's about my
Yeah.
journey. So mine, I really initially moved to the UK in the 80s after my O levels.
Yeah.
Stayed in the UK for a while, and then came back for a short time. Then went back to the UK.
Yes.
And life happened there. I eventually did a diploma, then moved on to do a degree as a mature student and higher education like that. So in a nutshell, that is how I moved from Uganda to the UK.
So, shall we say the reason for your relocation was study? It wasn't like for economic reasons, or I want to move to the UK, get a better life, maybe find a job. It was strictly for study.
Because I just finished O levels, I wasn't
Yeah.
even thinking about work at the time. So I just went there as part of the vacation of holiday in O
Yes.
levels and then study as well. Uh, then eventually when I came back, I went back there to study.
Oh, okay.
That's the diploma I did. Yeah.
So now I'm curious, why did you stay after your studies?
Why or where?
Why did you stay in the UK
Ah,
after finishing
hmm,
your studies?
who's coming back to Uganda? At that time, to do what?
Yes.
Hey, I can work. I can get my own money. Who's coming back to Uganda? I can and at the time by the when I went to UK,
Yes.
they it wasn't as I didn't perceive it as safe in Uganda myself. I used to um you couldn't easily walk out in the night and all that.
Yes.
So of course I go to UK and I'm able to see the nightlife, which I didn't have in Uganda.
I know.
I'm able to do things which I could not do in Uganda because I have the economic power. Now,
Yeah.
and the things I was doing were just minor things. Go to the theme park when I want to go to the theme park. Cinema when I want to go to
Yeah.
cinema. All those
Yeah.
things. So that to me was like, Buraya is Buraya now. Hika, I'm not going back. So that is, yeah,
Yes.
that's what, yeah. That
Yeah,
is
I can
initially,
totally
that's what,
understand.
that's why I stayed
Yeah.
initially. And I never wanted to come back, by the way, at that time. I think there was no Uganda.
Yes.
No, no, I never wanted to come back. I could go there in UK and have switch on gas from the wall and have my food.
And not go look for firewood.
I had never seen a washing machine, put in the washing machine and I had never seen a dryer dry
Oh
my
my
things.
God.
I had never seen an iron something to iron, just a machine to iron. I've never seen all those things. I didn't want to go back
Yes.
to because to me coming back to Uganda was going to go covered. No, that's the covered. So
Yeah.
that's the reason I stayed initially.
initially.
Yes.
So I think we haven't mentioned that, but as per title, you were living in the UK for 30 years. That means you left Uganda a long time ago. The times were different. The political atmosphere was different. I
Yes,
believe even
yes,
the socio-economic climate was totally different for one not to want to go back to Uganda.
yeah. So I won't stand here and say that I did not have a good life. I did.
Yeah,
So um sin I did, I'm not going to say that in terms,
yeah,
but of course I think it's relative to what I was seeing there, because
yes,
when I got there I saw riches which I'd never seen, and to me I was like, this is what I'm, who wants to go back?
yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
No, I can totally understand that, because if you say 30 years ago, it's a long time, and a lot has happened, and there are big changes. And like you said, you were a village girl, you go look for the firewood when you're going to cook, there's no electricity.
you know
So who would want to leave a country where there's no struggle per se?
it appeared so at that time.
Yes,
It appeared there was no struggle because I didn't have any children. It was me,
yes,
myself, and I. Uh, and in a way, like, I had no responsibility at the time. So
yes.
it appeared that way. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm hearing you joined you go to the UK in your early adulthood, university level. You're talking about children now. So when did you start a family? Was it right after your studies? And when you started a family, how was it for you being a mom in the UK?
No, I didn't. It was almost coming 10 years, I think, after I moved to UK, that I had my first daughter.
Yes.
And at the time, by the way, I was at university and I was told that, you have to take a year off because, you are going to have a baby. I know.
Oh,
And I also took it.
wow.
I'm like, oh, because a child. I'm like, oh yes, I took a year off.
Oh, wow. So you got pregnant while at university.
Yes, so first year. So I took a year off
Yeah.
and rejoined after my baby was about 9 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I was my
Respect.
second, yeah, when I was my the third year, I got pregnant again. And
Yes.
this time I said, you know what? I'm not taking a year off. I know what I'm doing. Because that time when I got pregnant, I was like, announcing it because I was very excited. I was pregnant. I wanted a
Yes.
baby. So this time I said, no, I'm not going to say anything. So I hid my pregnancy because I
Wow.
thought they would encourage me. I think they used to tell people to take time off then. So I totally hid my pregnancy from the beginning to the end. And I remember I had my daughter a week before I had my final exam,
Wow.
and I had in my dissertation the week I had my daughter.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's,
I
oh my
know,
goodness.
I know. So the week after I had my daughter, I had it in my dissertation, and then I was doing some. We were still studying for about 3 more weeks, but I was doing
Yes.
some of the exams. So my mom would come in the morning, very early in the morning, to stay with my children, and then
Yes.
the moment I come, she goes. So I would literally only go to lectures and come back.
Yes. Oh,
So so my first exam actually, I had her on Sunday, and on Monday, the next Monday we had an exam. So I went
wow.
in. And my lecturer said, oh, something has changed because when I got pregnant, I started wearing Indian clothes, like
Oh,
yeah,
oh my god.
and I would always be, you know how it is in the winter, always have scarves. So
Yes, that is an
they never,
advantage.
yeah, so they never saw the belly. And when I get pregnant, I lose weight. I
Ah,
lose weight. So I really become so lean, my cheeks going, you know, this I'm okay. I'm okay, but I lose so much weight. So they didn't
yes.
expect that she's losing weight. Maybe she's studying. So after when I passed,
Gosh.
after my exams, I went. Of course, we went to pick our results.
Yes.
And I remember the lecturer, one of the toppers, she called me. She goes, she found me on the side, and I was breastfeeding. And she goes, oh, when, where? And
Yeah.
even my fellow students, when I went in one day, I had to go in with the baby because I had no choice, and I go at the back of the theater. I went with her. I said, how?
Wow.
When? So anyhow, so she looks at me. She was already come and talk to me. She goes,
Yeah.
anyway, you're one of the most improved students, because I had
Wow.
only two to about 2 marks to get a first, because you're one of the most
Wow.
improved students. And she
With a
goes, you
baby.
with a baby, because you have a baby, you're pregnant also. I said,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So how did I have my how did it go? That's when I had my children. And
Yeah.
of course then, yeah, then I became, of course, a mom of two until almost 10 years ago. I had a little boy, and that's it.
Oh,
Mm.
wow. Wow, wow. So me, in my head, being a mom myself, I'm thinking of the challenges. You become a mom while you're still in school. And being that I work in the system, like I'm so curious to know, like comparing. Of course, I have knowledge about the UK, but for our people here, I would like to know what kind of support did you get during that time. I'm thinking of a young mom who's just graduated. Maybe she wants to start working. Do you have any services as regards maybe like taking care of your children that how do you say that in English, that subsidized maybe by the government, like if I get like a caretaker, do I get that paid from the government, or how did it work out for you?
I wasn't a young mom. I was a mature student.
Still a young mom, you were
So
not yet 30, I imagine.
oh, I was heading there. So in terms
Okay.
of, yeah, in terms of our Ugandan system and my age mate, I had
Yes.
children very late.
Ah,
Yeah, I
okay.
had children very late, um, because uh, in terms of that's another topic. Like in terms of relationships in UK,
Yes.
at our time, there were not very many, because I came with this mindset. You
Yes.
stay with Ugandans, you marry Uganda. That's my mindset.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, because why I came from the village.
I
So if you're going to
understand. Yes.
marry, you
Not
marry
so
so and
woke like us today.
you marry so and so son. If you're going to marry, you marry
Oh,
so and so son. But I didn't have the so and so son to marry there. And
oh my God.
yeah, and the relationship I had, which was like from secondary, of course it dwindles to go after 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah, so you move apart. So so the relationship that that's the reason that well, personally, I had kids late, because I was looking for so and so son.
I understand.
So
Yeah.
so you're asking about the subsidies.
Yes.
When I had my kids, things were not as easy as now they are,
Yeah.
because nursery you had to be able to pay for yourself, or
Yeah.
to work in an organization which will give you like child care vouchers, which I couldn't.
Ah,
And
okay.
when I finished, I wasn't in any professional job. I had just done a generic degree, in
Yes.
sciences. So even the jobs I could do, as generic as they are, they could not subsidize my childcare. But
Ah,
at the time, I had my mom was still alive, so there was a bit of support there.
okay.
Mhm,
That's
mhm,
very, very interesting.
mhm.
So you had your mom in the UK. That is something I missed right as we were chatting. So your mom was in the UK already. So you weren't really alone.
No, it's a mom traded between UK and
Ah, so she
so
was
that
in and
so
out.
yes, so yeah, she traded in the UK. Yeah. So now, and I wasn't alone. No, I have family in the UK. My
Yeah.
mom's sisters were there. My brothers, my sisters were there. So I had, but
Oh, okay.
point of note is the UK. You tend to be by yourself, even if you have family there. They are
Yeah.
not going to stop doing what they're doing to come and look after your children. They have got to look after themselves as well.
Everyone
Uh,
has a life.
yes, they have a life, and
It's
every
true.
and yeah, you have to have, you make a life. It's not like here, for example, like you can have uh your brother come and your sister come and live with you and
Yeah.
help with the children. No, no, or your cousin or your distant relation come and live with you. No, everyone
Yes.
has a life. You have to, mm, yeah.
Well, that's true. So I see there are a few people there. My lovelies who have joined us. Kind request, like the live, share with your friends. I know the hours are quite early, but just share the link. And to Jackie, if you have another phone on the side, you can also share the link so that your people join us. And then we'll move on. So, Auntie Jackie, you become
Oh,
a
I have
mother,
no
and like I
phone.
had,
I have
so
no
you,
phone.
yes, so you had your children with an African man, from what you said. I don't hear marriage, so a
Ugandan.
Ugandan man. So
Mm.
did you people get married, or you were just in a partnership?
partnership that didn't work out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I
That's
totally
it. Yeah.
understand. And that is also a very interesting topic that you could talk about. I can imagine
In
in the
future.
80s, the culture shock, like
Mm.
I know the African system, she's had kids, no marriage, no kwanjula,
Ah,
the trauma
my
there.
dear,
You should do
the
a video for
trauma
us.
there.
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah, we'll do another video of that. But the trauma was like and I think also my to have to go and I keep saying this. I wanted children so much
Yeah.
that I was like, let me just go. But even then, it was because of the pressure.
Yes.
I was like,
I
oh,
can totally
I'm going to be,
understand.
I'm going to be there with no children. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness me, oh my goodness. And my mom was like, no, don't take it easy. Sorry,
Yes.
off.
No, you can eat. I'm also starving. But you're bad. How can you show me that? I want to fly home now.
I did that. I'm so sorry. I
The
have,
diaspora life struggles.
there's no
You can't
croissant, there's
find
no
that here.
muffin.
Oh, I say okay, now I have to be strong. I really have to be strong. Um, so you're talking about when you got your kids. You're also referring to you didn't really have like a proper job, like a job that would fully support you.
All
How
the
did you
time.
survive during that time financially? And maybe
Oh,
take us
sorry.
through your process of finding a job. How easy or how difficult was it for you? And I would like you to give
Ah.
us a little bit of insight if your skin color or your nationality came into play, the challenges, or how easy. Maybe it was very easy. I would like to know that, especially for my community that has a desire to relocate.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. So, what I didn't say is yes, when one is not working and has got children,
Yeah.
they are supported. I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
Okay, financial
I didn't just say,
support.
yeah. You get
Yeah.
financial support. You get some. It's a benefit that they calculate so that somebody with two children should be able to have survive on so much. Let me say £500.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what they give you every month,
Okay.
and you have got to navigate it. But
Yeah.
the system is designed to give you a net, to give you a push up,
Yeah.
not to make you survive on that money.
Lazy.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So it
Yes.
is not going to make you rich, no.
Okay.
But at least your children will, you have things.
You'll have food and
Yeah,
shelter and yeah.
at the time. Things now, if you want to know, are slightly
Yeah.
different. The money has not been increased relative to the living expenses.
I
So
know. Yeah.
anybody who's in, and I know that it hasn't always been like that. And I know that when the system was set up, I think that's how they designed it. And I think it
Yes.
is, at times there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with this. Unless somebody's really, really poorly and they can't do anything,
Yeah.
yeah, they may get more. But now it is different. Really, the cost of living is high, and the
Yeah.
money they have given is still here. So it is really different. So at the time, the kids were, of course, were little, so I didn't work for a while
Yeah.
because they were quite little, and I couldn't afford nursery. But also, I didn't want them to go to the nursery at such young age.
Yeah.
They were so little, so they stayed home with me. Then eventually, when they went to school, like there's a free nursery at a certain age where
Yeah.
they go full time. Then I started getting work, and yeah, I started getting work because I had done the degree. I got work in government offices, so I started getting proper work,
Yeah. Okay.
and I started working in the support system working with
Yeah.
within the social sector,
Yes.
social care sector. Yeah,
So was your job search easy or was it a difficult one?
it was difficult because of the childcare. So
Okay.
like there's a job which I was getting, which is a very good job, and it was paying very well. But
Yeah.
I needed to be able to do a 12-hour shift,
Wow.
or at times at an 18-hour shift. No, you're not awake all the time. So
Yeah.
you go in at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah.
sleep there, then wake up and start the morning shift. So you have a whole night
Ah,
sleeping.
okay.
Wake up
Yes.
and have, but remember, from that time you're being paid. Even when you're sleeping, you're being paid.
Yes, of
So
course.
wake up and do the morning shift, and then you leave the phone at 5.
Yes.
But then I have these two children.
It's impossible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I'm going to be there at 3 o'clock, I need someone to pick them from school.
Yeah.
That means I'm not going to see them that night, and I'm not going to see them going to school in the morning.
Yeah.
So I did that for a while, for about a month. I'm like, it was very good money. And of course, then I would have a long time with them. So I would work like that, then have 2 days off, then fine. So it was really, on paper,
Yeah.
it was really beautiful. Could do it.
Yes.
But when you're on your own and there's no
Oh,
dad at home, I'm like, no. If the dad maybe was at home, it would have been easier, but it
yes.
wasn't at home. So I'm like, no, 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 no. Let me not, yeah, let me.
Yes. So I'm still going to ask you again about the job search, because for me these are very important questions for me to empower my community.
Mhm.
We've had instances, of course, I know how it works, but I need to hear your side of the story. Um, would you say in your days, in your early 80s, 90s, when you relocated, was it also, for example, difficult for someone with migrant background to get a job, solely not because you're not qualified, but maybe because of the color of your skin or your origin? Because I've had such stories or scenarios where people are like, I've been on the job search for years and years. I go for interviews, and once they find out I'm black, for example, or a migrant, they have some prejudices. Either they think I'm not good enough, or they, most of the times, like in Sweden, I have friends in Sweden, they'll be told you're overqualified. So is it something you experienced in your time, or would you say it still exists? Because I mean, you lived there 30 years. So for someone that is thinking of relocating to the UK, I want to give them a realistic picture of what to expect if, for example, they're educated, qualified, because I have very many people here who are really highly educated and want to relocate. But of course, they ask themselves, if I go to the UK, will it be easy for me, like to find a job with my qualifications and all that? Yeah.
Yeah. Did I say a disclaimer that I'm not an expert? I did earlier, didn't it?
No, you're just telling us your experience. That's
Yeah.
why I'm
Okay.
asking.
So no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. I just want to say, so I'm not an expert, but I'm gonna give you my experience. Now,
Yes.
you are right. Like in Uganda, there is nepotism,
Yeah.
there's tribalism, there's corruption in terms of jobs. I'll say it.
Yes.
There is. And somebody will come well educated in Uganda with a first class
Yeah.
degree, and somebody with a totally different course gets the job
Because they are related. Yeah.
because they're rated, because there's corruption and all that. So
Yeah.
we take that and we put across this.
Oh,
Remember, we are who we are. Before, if myself and a Spanish person come, before we speak, they see who I am.
yes.
Secondly, before they swift through the interview papers, the name is there.
Yes.
Kobu CNJ, can't see me, it's there.
I know. So they're like, who is this?
So, yeah. So it's easier to say Kobusinj. It's easier to say Clark than Kobusinje.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
So for sure, and I'll stand to be corrected, that will be there for sure.
Yeah. Some prejudice. Okay.
For sure to be there. So some of us, when we go there, we have to know we have got to work 4 times more.
Wow.
We have
Yeah.
to do. We have to know that, and we shouldn't go there and say, "Oh, this is not our country.
Yeah.
This is not our country." And if I'm going to be putting in application forms, it's true. I have had to do that. Um, and God has been gracious that I've mostly, in most cases, got the jobs. But even
Yeah.
then, the jobs that you get, one has got to be really qualified for the other person to be taken.
Yeah.
It will never be written down. It will
Yes.
never be, it is not tangible, but it is there. Just the way corruption is in Uganda, there it is there as well.
Yes.
So what would I advise? If you're going to go for a job and you're well overqualified, don't stop. Remember, this is not your home. You have
Yeah.
come here. No. So like my children are born there. They have no choice but to do that.
Yes.
Would they experience it? Of course they would. But
Yes.
they would have an advantage that if they were to go to an interview, they'll be speaking their English as opposed to myself,
The accent. Yes. That also matters. Yes.
as opposed to myself. So
Yeah.
so I think they have a better chance of getting the job than me, who's
Yes.
going to come here. Hey, hello, I'm somebody from this. So they have got a
From
better
Uganda.
chance. They have got a better chance. Yes. Uh,
Yes.
yeah. So to me, honestly, if my brothers and sisters are going there to work, just know, if you have not left Africa with a job, Uganda with a job, and you're
Yes.
looking for a job, go there and be prepared to do anything.
Okay. I
Be
get you.
prepared to do anything. So the moment you have got money coming in, at least,
Yes.
then you can start looking for a job of what? Of your qualification. Because at
Yeah.
least you can look for it at ease. But
Yes.
living, I know doctors who've left Uganda and they are healthcare assistants,
Tough. Yeah. I
healthcare
get it.
assistant, and they
Yeah.
are full-fledged qualified doctors.
I know, I know. No, I totally hear you. Of course, I understand the system, how it works. And you're saying exactly what my sentiments always are, what I like to communicate. Once you relocate to any country in the diaspora, don't go with the expectations. The moment I get to the airport, my life will change. It doesn't always change for the better, it could change for the worst. And then,
Before
like
it
you
gets
said,
better. Mhm.
yes, go prepared to put in effort, to put in hard work, to be also ready to compromise. That's what I heard from your points.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And just know that this is number. Like how people will come from Kaba to come to Kampala,
Yes.
and you get here and they say,
I
"Hey, there's no
know.
job." You see, people do anything. So same
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
I
And I'm not saying
know.
those who come to family. No, I'm saying people who, like, in the village. I'm going to go to Kampala and they don't know anybody. They will do
Yes.
anything. Yeah.
Yes. So Auntie Jackie, before we move to the other part of your journey, because it's really a long journey, 30 years, we cannot exhaust 30 years in a video, so I'm trying to really keep it very brief. Another point that I'm sure would interest my community, because of also the people that I support through my consultation services, parents in the diaspora with a migrant background. Um, did you have any challenges as regarding racism for your children? Did you have any challenges with your children when they started to go to school? Did they have any hardships as a result of their skin, of their color, or maybe their culture beliefs, and you as a person?
So when my kids were younger, we were
Yeah.
in a mostly black area. So the school that we're in was predominantly black. Very
Oh
few white
wow,
people.
really?
Yes, very few
Okay,
white, very
lucky.
few. And in actual sense, quite a lot of Africans in
Yeah,
that school. So we were really, really, I would say I
lucky.
was blessed. Yes, I was blessed for
Yeah.
that because I they did not get any of that. So
Ah,
even if the teacher will do anything, it's like, okay,
yeah.
you're doing it, but I can't even prove that it's racist because half of the
It's,
class is black. Because I remember one of my daughters had it rough with one of the teachers in there too. But I
yeah.
couldn't. You can't prove it's racist, no, because of the amount of
Yeah.
black
She's
people.
like,
Yeah,
everyone is
yeah,
almost black here.
yeah. So if there was any racism, it would be so systematic, like they want to fail everybody, all the black children. So for
Ah,
them, so that wasn't there. But I remember a thing which happened one day.
yeah.
There was only one white girl in their class that was English. The others
Yes.
were immigrant whites, Polish,
Yes.
right, like that. So they came into school, and that girl was friends with my daughter. They came to school, and I
Yeah.
remember that it had rained. So the rain, how you're walking, and all of a sudden it starts raining, and
Yes.
so all of most of the children going to school wet. When they go to class, remember, all of them are dripping wet.
Yes.
When they get to class, the teacher says, "So and so, darling, take off your jumper and put on the heater." So my blessed daughter went off, take off her jumper. She says,
Yeah.
"Sit down!" Screamed at her.
Wow.
She goes, "I'm taking off my jumper to put the heater. I
Because it's
told you to
wet.
sit. Yeah, I told you to sit down." She goes, "No, I'm not sitting down because it's wet. I'm taking it off." I'm like, "You
Jesus.
know what? Good girl,
Yeah.
good girl." So I think she went ahead and took it off, but it was a big thing.
Wow.
What I liked that her class,
Jesus.
They were very assertive. In that case, what I liked, the
Yeah.
lit, there's a boy who's there said, Miss, you're wrong. You just
Yeah.
told so and so take off her jumper, and
Yeah.
they came in together, and you don't want her to take off her jumper. You're
Yeah.
wrong. So my daughter and that boy and another two girls were now taken out of class. But
Yes.
you can imagine when I went there, what my reaction was to the teacher. I'm
What
like,
was the
no.
reaction? I'm curious.
I'm like, how dare you? I said, why did you
Wow.
take why do you tell the other child and did tell these children?
Yes.
He didn't have an answer. So to me, that was a classic one because you can't tell one child, take off your jumper, lovely, and put it there and not tell the other child. But for that
Oh
case,
my
I like
God.
that they could stand up for themselves. So some of our children there have had to learn to stand up for themselves
Yes.
at an early age, what I didn't go through. Uh, and sometimes we, as immigrants, we don't know sometimes what they are going through. We're just
Yes.
learning what they're going through. Friends of mine who have gone to school and as from little up, they
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I know,
Ah,
like this. Like I
you
told, like
also
a
had no
teacher.
idea of the system.
No, because I didn't. I have. I To me, somebody who I can't remember what was. I remember somebody was racist towards us,
Yes.
and it was so blatant. We had gone to a meal, two families, myself and another family.
Yeah.
And when we got there, they did sit us, but we didn't. We just so we
You're
said,
like,
oh,
doesn't mean anything.
no, we didn't. So we walked and sat on the table and sat and waited
Yeah.
and waited and waited. So other families will come and they'll be seated. I
Oh,
noticed it.
wow.
So eventually, a family which came in about half an hour after us came and sat next to us and they came and served them. So I said,
Yes.
excuse me. And said, oh, I'm coming. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Another family, I said, excuse me. Oh, I'm coming. Then I said, hey. And I said it loud. I said, eh, Vanange. I was with my friends from Uganda. I said, these people are racist. So I said,
They're
and I
ignoring
said it
us.
loud. They totally ignored us. I said, they are racist. So look at them, they're ignoring us. And we're the only black family in there.
Yes.
They totally refused to serve us. It was in a
Wow.
small village. They refused to serve us. And I'm like, oh God, these people are racist. So, and I said it loud. And we started laughing. We made a joke out of it. It's something that I was like, oh my goodness me. But
Yes.
I was like, okay, so me, and also, I don't know, it's never been that blatant to me. That's the thing I can
That
say. It's never
plan.
been
Yeah,
that,
it's
no,
always
no, no.
subtle that you can't put fingers on it.
Subtle, subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't put fingers at it.
No, for me, like I love UK. I would never live there, but it's a country that I love. I travel to the UK roughly 3 times a year. And the first shock I got for me was actually from the history of Germany. Like someone who have heard about our history would think German has blunted racism. I've I've noticed racism in the UK so many times, and it shocked me because in the UK, like you said, you have a very big black community, be it of Caribbean background or typical African background, and then it's also a country that has different nationalities. So I didn't expect it to be racist, but actually, for me, the reason I say I could never live in the UK, I find it very racist compared to German, for example, from my
Really?
experiences. Yes,
Really?
and I remember my
Because
first shock was we were on a playground with my nieces, and they were going on to a swing, and two moms openly told their kids to leave because black kids were like, for me, that was my very very first time to experience racism in my life, and I was livid, like livid. Being who I am, I didn't shut up. Of course, I said something immediate as like, oh, if you really have a problem with mixing with other races, then you could as well get a very nice playground at your place. You don't have to come to a public playground if you think you're that special. You know what I mean? If you are too special, then make sure you have an amazing home with everything. You don't have to come to a public playground. But if you're coming to a public playground, you can't be that special. But it
and
really,
did they
really,
answer?
she looked how she was like, and the
They
others
never
started,
they
she
never
just
answered.
left. Yeah, she never answered. And the others also started looking like this. A few seconds, they were all leaving. And I remember my sister was like, yeah, don't say anything. I was like, no. That's not acceptable. You have to say something, because next time you do something like that, for us it doesn't matter, but it affects the little children because they
Mm.
notice. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
wild.
It is well now that like when you say that, oh, things now, I remember things, and that
Yeah,
has happened. That has happened so many times in the playground. But the thing, I go to my daughter, I say, something. If my children, even anybody, I'm like,
yeah,
if you go anywhere and anybody moves, I said, guess what? Aren't you lucky that you have all the playground to yourself? You can do anything you want to
yes,
do to yourself. So I always
yeah,
turn into a positive. And I remember one day, it was this lady was from Ukraine,
yeah.
and Ukraine or Poland, one of the two. I can't remember. Ukraine or Poland, I can't
I
remember.
think Poland, there are many Polish people in the UK.
Yeah, one of
Yeah,
the two. So I was we're coming past, and I don't know what my son did. And she was like, oh, speaking in Polish, oh, speaking Polish. But because human nature, when somebody's speaking about you, you can tell.
yes, yes, yes,
I kept quiet because they're in the same school. I kept quiet. So
yeah,
then at another time, we're going home, and we met, and I think I had a push, and they wouldn't move from the road, and I had a
yes.
push here. And again, they spoke. So
Wow.
Smith stood up, and I know that my daughter always said, "Mommy, don't." I'm like, you know what? I said, you know what, my dearest. The
Yes,
last time I looked, it was Britain. The last time I looked, we're all immigrants. The last
yes,
time I looked, we all have a choice. If you don't want to see me or my own children, please go
yes.
back to your country. Don't stay
I
here.
know.
Because
And
I
this
have
is
not
also
come
a
back.
migrant person.
I said, I have not come to your country, and I will never come to your country to live. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Ukraine. I can't remember. I said, so please get up and go. Do not come here
Yes,
and be racist here. People here are not racist, because the area I was living in, honestly, they were so
yes.
nice. I so like
Migrant
how you say that
people.
you say like you can experience, but you don't feel it. So
Yes,
I said, get up and go to your own place.
yes.
And again, they were there. So I said, you can speak as much as you can. Nanjye nanda
Yeah,
ndazagamba urukiga tuyahotoza kwitira ugamba rwanyu na ngamba rwanyu ndebe cyo
I
rakora.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. She walked up, but guess what? We ended up becoming friends. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, I don't know if it was fake or anything, but I would say, hi, yeah, hi, how are you? We
Yes.
became not
No,
friends, like
sometimes
this, but
it's really
yeah.
necessary to stand
Mm,
up for yourself, especially if you're
mm.
in the diaspora. And I believe the reason she became your friend, she noticed, oh, so this is not just a walkover. So, my lovelies, for those of you who just joined the
Don't.
conversation, um, yes, we're talking about Aunt Jackie's journey relocating from a village in Kabale to the UK, first world, staying there for 30 years. And then, as you can see per video title, she had to relocate back to Ugandan village life after 30 years in the UK. Now, I'm sure, like everyone else that will be watching this video, we are all curious to know, why would one even think of leaving the UK after 30 years to go back to Uganda?
For sure. And it just to cut the story short, it was my health. I
Yes.
think if I hadn't been unwell, I would still be in the UK, because
Yeah.
I was not ready to come. I wasn't
Yeah.
ready. I need, there's so much I needed to do. Now that my kids had grown, I'm like,
Yeah.
now, it's now my time, my
Yeah.
money and everything. So I really wanted to do so much, be able to build a retirement home,
Yeah.
get myself a farm, get myself a number of properties to rent, so that at least I have an income.
You mean in
Uh,
Uganda?
in Uganda,
Okay, to set yourself up first. Okay.
yeah, I wanted to come back. That's for sure.
Yes.
I wanted to come back. I want to live in Uganda, and I still want to live
Yeah.
in Uganda. But I was pushed. My health was so bad that I ended up in hospital. And I know when they told me, I've said it so many times that I'm repeating myself all the time. But I was
Yeah.
told that I'm at risk of a stroke and high blood pressure and heart attack. And the day they told me that, I just broke down, cried. I'm like, I'm leaving. The moment the person
Okay.
told me, I said, I'm leaving. I'm going back to my country, because I couldn't see any way out. I would have been there with my daughters looking after me.
Ah, okay.
and I'm like, it's too much. I'm going because I knew at least here I could have support.
Yeah.
I could even be able to pay that paid support.
Yes.
Uh, Quite a few people have asked me, is in there any services now in the UK for people who are not well? It is there. And if somebody's not well and you have nobody to care for you, you can be cared for you in your home or in a home. But I wasn't comfortable to have a carer coming in 4 times a day, and the rest of the day I'm just watching there. If I'm not able to do anything, I just have to wait. I wasn't comfortable with that. That's why I came back.
Relation, you
Mm.
talked about, like, we've had a few glitches here, but there's you talked about your health. Actually, when you're beginning about the reason you get this diagnosis and you're like, I decided I'm going home. In my head, I was thinking, okay, was the illness caused by being in the UK? That was my first thought when you said, okay, get this terrible diagnosis, and I'm like, I'm going home. So in my head, I was like, oh, why? Is there a correlation between living in the UK and your sickness? And then during a private chat, you also talked about something. You were homeless. Can you maybe expound on that? What exactly did you mean? Were you in a state where you could no longer like financially live the life that you truly desired, or do you mean homelessness? I didn't get it properly. It's
So,
not something to be shamed
oh
about,
no,
actually.
no, oh, shame! I was ashamed. Can't destroy. I was ashamed. Let me tell
Are you
you,
ashamed before
I
relocating?
I was so ashamed that I was like, you know what? I'm going to work and make it. I was so ashamed. Hey, gonna come out. When God talks and when life happens, the
Yeah.
shame just disappeared and dissolved. The shame disappeared when I said you are at risk of this. The shame just evaporated.
Disappeared. Yeah.
Evaporated, yeah.
So that
But
means before you even got the diagnosis, you were in a situation that wasn't good. You were planning of relocating, but correct me if I'm wrong, that's what I'm hearing. You were not in a financial place that made you feel, let me say, proud of yourself, or that caused you shame, especially for every one of us, African people, people with migrant background that are living the diaspora. We can all relate to the shame and expectations of everyone. You're living in Germany, you should be having this and that. Is that what you're trying to say?
I was among those people who thought, you poor Brian, you come with nothing. You with Richie, what is wrong with you? Hmm. Until God said, hey, you're saying about
I'll
people,
show
let's
you.
tap into you. I'll show you. I will show you. So God showed me. Like Naja said, I go show you Pepe. Ah, yeah, so
Yeah,
Pepe. Oh. Now, I was among those people who thought that if you come to UK
yeah,
or abroad for that matter, you need to work so hard as it is. Hmm. People, I'm in the village. It is raining, so it's gonna be dark, and I'm black, so it's gonna be more dark. Let me put the light
yeah.
on.
Okay,
I'm put,
electricity here.
we have no electricity. I have no electricity. But you
Okay.
know, I'm putting the light on
Okay.
because it will be so dark that there's no you'll able to see me.
Yes.
So I really worked so hard, and I wanted to stay in the UK to do what quote unquote we should do. And let us be honest, really. I don't leave Uganda to go to UK to come with nothing. Let's be honest.
To go through the winter and all the
Hmm.
hustle.
Let us be honest. I know that you say we're saying shame and everything. It is true, but let us be honest and
It's
truthful.
the
You
truth,
don't live
yeah.
here to go all the way to come with nothing. No,
That's
you
true.
go there with aspiring to have something. And I'm
Yeah,
so pleased. Like now, I'm so happy when I see people coming and they have got something. I'm like, you know what? It can be done, and it can. Honestly,
yeah,
we shouldn't feel that because somebody has failed, it can be done. It can be done. You go there,
yeah,
you work hard. Is it easy? No, it is difficult. Like you say, you've got winter, you've got those
yeah,
challenges you're talking about, you've got challenges of knowing somebody lives here as a headmaster, goes there
yeah,
and starts working in a care home, looking after old
yeah,
people's home. And as a man, and especially within the African context, a man doing that, they feel as if it's low. So we have all that going on. So you do all that to come back with
Yes.
nothing, to waste all that. It is not the best.
Yeah.
However, however, if one finds themselves in the situation I was in, like
Yeah.
I was homeless, not I wasn't living under the bridges or the street. No, I did
Yeah.
not have a home of my own because of so many things.
Yeah.
But the one I can put my finger on was um the one I can put my finger on was when I would go to look for a home or a property. First of all, I would go there in the last year that I was struggling so much,
Yes.
and I would be competing with corporate young people. I'm saying
Ah,
people of my daughter's age who are
yes.
earning an obscene amount of money and they're
Yeah.
single. Oh, it's a couple.
I know. So it's
So,
okay for them. I know what
so
rent is like in the UK. Yeah.
I'm competing for this house with that couple. You be honest. If I had a home as well, I wouldn't give it to me. I would give it to people. I would.
I know
You're going
because
to.
someone is sure, okay, they'll be able to pay their rent and yeah.
If I wasn't able to pay the rent, the benefit to pay for me.
But
But
they don't
remember,
like people, most people don't like to have benefit people in their houses
that's
because
it.
there are prejudices, you know? Yeah.
And me, if I was the person also renting, and I came woman with a child and a
Yeah.
couple who are working Canary Wharf and then finance and they're earning over 80K a year and there are two,
Yeah.
me, myself and I, who was looking for, I would give it to that couple. So that
I
became my
really
struggle.
I really love how reflected and honest you are. I really, really love that. Honestly. And I think that's what makes you special. I've not known you for a long time, but there isn't even an ounce of bitterness in you because you could see it both ways. I could be bitter and I'm like, oh my God, I was homeless. They refused to give me a house because I wasn't earning enough like the other people, or because I was black. Because, and I've said one time on my socials, life is as bad as you react to it, as you partake it. Life is never straight forward line, but you can choose to see it as bad or as good, just like you can choose to see a cup as half empty or
Ooh,
half full.
Hamilton.
And all the time I'm talking to you, you seem to have a concept of an optimism of seeing the cup always as half full and not as half empty. And I think that makes you really, really special. And I hope our community here pick a leaf from that. I really love that.
I tell you what happened. When I was in that situation, I
Yeah.
remember I've got two instances. One of them, the house was there. I went there. I spoke to the man. I said, please give me a house. Give me,
Oh,
son, give me, please. The guy was Greek.
yeah.
He spoke well to me. He goes, I'll give you the house. It's okay. I said, please. So he wanted so much, and I offered more.
So that he could choose you.
Please choose me. For the sake of my son, I have got nowhere to live. Please.
Oh my
Of course,
God.
I'll choose you. Hmm.
That's what he said. Yeah.
He did. And I waited and I waited. I'd call. I said, please. Then he was renting it, I think, for his uncle, he said.
Yes.
Then I rang again. I said, what's happening? He goes, you know what? I'm sorry. My uncle wanted two people and he chose the other couple. I said,
Wow.
which one? Because the one who worked in Canary Wharf.
Wow.
And I'm like, I said, I wish you had told me earlier. I've been here waiting
With hope.
with hope. Another one, I went there again with a two-bedroom house, beautiful near my
Yeah.
son's school. Same, I offered everything. Said, okay. Then two nurses came in, trying to share.
Oh
Two
no.
nurses. Ha! So after those incidents, I said, you know something, it's okay. Let me keep looking. And I looked far and wide. And I know many have told me to have gone to the local authority to get a house,
Yeah.
and you can, but there are so many hurdles there as well. So
I know them. Yeah. Yeah.
through me looking for my own house in my own way, and the local
Yeah.
authority, it's just and the pressure
Dwindled,
was too
yeah.
much. It was too much. It was too much, and that's how I end up. And I think to you know, the last straw on the camel's back that
Yeah.
made me become so unwell. I was always working from home. I was doing remote working, and I've always done contract work for the last about 15 years. Contract
Yeah.
work, coming 20 years actually, 15 contract work.
Yeah.
And I chose that because it worked well for me. I could take time off when I want to take time off. So if
Oh,
my
okay.
kids have when my kids are on holiday, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have to struggle with the whole all those things. Because
Yeah.
when I was quick interjection and then I'm gone. When I
Yes.
was in permanent work one day, my son's crying. I was in permanent work one day at one
Yeah.
time, and my daughters, one of them, they got chicken pox. So the first one
Yeah.
got chicken pox. After when you get chicken pox, they tell you a week off school. So I took a week of school with them, my daughter. As my daughter was getting better, the first one, the little one got it.
Oh no.
But she got it so bad because I'd never seen it that way.
Yeah.
She got that she had even blisters in her nails.
Wow.
Each and every paw had each and in the eyes. I'm like, so I said, no, this is not chickenpox. It's something else. They said, no, it's chickenpox.
Yeah.
The worst case of chickenpox. So of course I had to take another time off. So when I
We.
went to work, yeah, when I went to work, I had you do a return to work interview.
Yeah.
I did it, and they told me you've used all your parental leave, whatever,
Yes.
and so you have to decide the other times you've used. You have to decide either take it as holiday
Yes.
or unpaid leave, or you say you're
Yes.
sick. I
Yes.
said, you want to say I'm sick when I'm not sick? And
I
so when I'm
know.
sick, what will happen? You say that I've
Yes.
got so much sick leave. Unpaid. I said, I haven't worked for 2 weeks, so I want to be take off 2 weeks for my month. Well, then what?
Yes.
So he takes as holiday. I said, no, because when the holidays come, I've already booked my holidays. What will happen? Would you still give them to me? They said,
Yes.
no. And I'm like, really? They said, no. So they went and explained to me that parental leave that we were giving at the time was only for one child, and it was, I think, about for a week. It was.
Wow.
So I said,
Crazy.
I said myself, I have got 2 kids. Anyway, so because of that, I went to do this contract work, which really worked well for me for all those years.
Yeah.
So I knew with the contract work that each one of us, myself or them, they could end the contract within with the 1 week's notice. So
Tricky.
they ended, yeah. But in my mind you, for the last 20 years, that had never worked. I've
Wow.
always been given about 2 weeks notice, a 2 month notice. The most is 1 month notice I've was already given. And
Yeah.
I have never been given, actually, I had never been given notice. I always used to leave because
Yeah.
I'd go there and stay there 5 years, 4 years, three
And
years.
then move on. Yeah.
So it would be me to move on, not them. So this was the
Yeah.
first time ever that I've been given notice. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So I wasn't ready.
Wow.
And because I hadn't given notice and because I had become so comfortable with the last 20 years, the rug was put for my feet.
Yeah.
The next job I got was too far, hybrid. So I couldn't balance taking my son to school, or it wasn't. And
Yeah.
now remember, I'm looking also for a house. So all those things just complicated them, like, went to my head.
Too much.
And
Yeah.
I became unwell. Yeah, I became unwell. And that's how I decided to come back. Sorry, long winded
Wow.
story.
No, it's very important because when you said it, like I told you, I connected that as like that sounds like there's a correlation between what was going on in the UK and your health, And then I can
Mhm.
understand that because as you're talking, I was also thinking it's important to talk about the damage that rejection causes, that struggle causes. I mean, you're talking about being homeless, looking for a home, and being rejected over and over and over and over again. That does something
Over
with you.
over 200 applications, I think I made.
No way.
Over, over, because I went far and wide of the UK. I'm not gonna say many places, but I went far and wide. Over.
Yes. Imagine that does something to you. Definitely, it does something to your health. And then when you're in a situation where you have no options, you can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? Like you're talking, you lose your job, and people are looking at you and they're like, she's not going to be able to pay her rent. And we have here a couple that is working and earning very well. It drives you nuts. It does something with you.
Yeah. And then
And
you're trying to go to the system through the
yes,
system, the housing system, and they're telling you rubbish. And you think myself,
yeah,
stop it, stop it.
I know the
And they're telling you
bureaucracy.
this, they're telling
Yeah,
that's the bureaucracy of it.
yeah,
Once one is there, it's okay, but the bureaucracy of it, going through those hurdles.
yeah.
Every time I'd go there, I become unwell.
I know. Yeah, it does
And you
something with you mentally.
and you're sitting there with the different types of people, and you think, this is where I've reached after
You
all
feel
these years.
worthless.
I
Yeah,
did. Like, this is where I've reached after all these years. Like,
yeah.
no. I said, no, what? Let me go. Let me go.
So, so after all these struggles, like you're homeless, you've become
Yes, I'm
unwell,
sure I'm
you've
eating
become,
a banana.
yeah, no, you eat. You've gotten this terrible diagnosis, and you make the decision, I'm going to go back home. So now let's make it very clear. You've decided to go back to Uganda. You're not financially, I would say, in a stable state. How was this decision for you? What thoughts did you have? We're talking about, like we said, the shame. I'm going back to Uganda. Did you already have a home in Uganda? Did you have any finances saved in Uganda, like to start over? Because I can tell you, Uganda is not cheap. The cost of living in Uganda is very high.
I've
So
got a video coming.
yes, really. So how do you navigate the journey to Uganda without being financially stable? What precautions or what measures were in place for you to be like, okay, when I get there, where am I going to start? Take us through that. Now you're leaving the UK after 30 years.
I had some money saved, true.
Yeah.
I had some money saved, but I had no home.
In Uganda, you didn't have a home.
No.
Okay.
So I needed to put the roof. Oh, sorry. I didn't have a finished home.
Are you already constructing
I was
something?
remember I told you I was coming.
Yes.
So I was always like, finish. Matawa heza, heza.
Slowly, yeah.
And I was waiting, ngeno ninza kutaho aho mu misho ninza kutaho amadirisa. Haza nteho, I was waiting,
Dreaming big.
Chama, first ninza kwenda shwetia, ezika, So
Oh,
I said, you know what? Go. I had some money saved,
yeah.
but within myself, but like, come that I have money, no, nothing. So that money which I was saved, I used the house.
Ah,
I
okay.
said, try and get a proper, see, and then what I did, because remember, I had wanted to come. So I
Yeah.
said, I kept looking for clothes, secondhand clothes, secondhand clothes. So I shipped all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came here, the shipped and paid because I knew I would have no money. When I came here, I got them. So I started selling those secondhand clothes. I didn't,
Ah, oh,
I, I,
smart.
I
I was
didn't,
thinking, where is this going?
yeah,
Okay.
I didn't have a shop. I didn't have a shop because I was at my sister's. When I
Yes.
came to my village, because remember, this is the only man I have. I said, if I put a shop in town, these things are not going because the thing you've bought, because second I would go, charity shops, I would
Charity
go
shops in
to
the UK.
car
Yeah.
boot sales and everything to get, so you buy clothes, £3, £2.
Yes.
Come here, they want to give you £1.
No. Yeah. And then
Which
the taxes and you've paid for.
I've
Yeah.
already paid for them. I'm like, stop it. So I
Yeah.
said, if I put, because I had already now tasted the waters, if I put the
Yeah.
shop in the town, people, I'm going to be competing with China.
Yes.
And
I
the people
know.
don't care, even if it's UK, because you can get a shoe from
Benefits good
Clark's, which is
quality.
second hand. Clark's
Yes.
shoe is very nice. And you put Chinese shoe that is new shiny. People will not think.
They'll go for the shiny one that will last
Go
one
for I'll
day.
go for any time I go for Clark's, anyhow. So
Yes.
I said, let me get a shop in my village.
Ah, okay.
I did. Banange. Maker, hey, maker. It
They
became
also know.
maker, maker, maker. Who was buying? Nobody was buying.
Oh no. I
But
thought it worked.
it didn't work. But I paid for a few months so that at least I can give it an opportunity. And I know, well, I've paid, I finished.
Yes.
This, yeah. So I paid. Didn't work. So what I did, every time I'd go to church, I'd go with the clothes. If I go to anywhere, I go with the clothes. So even if somebody buys mtwaro bidi, it's okay.
Yes.
Even if they buy mtwaro nya, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay, but at least I can get something for my son to eat. I can get
Mhm.
some sugar.
Yeah.
That I can get transport. So that is how I came, and I was surviving.
Wow. From okay, that's yeah,
Mm.
that's tough. That's really tough. Yeah. Because I'm thinking of like when I come to Uganda, of course I'm on holiday, but I'm thinking like the means of transport, even the public means of transport in Uganda are obnoxiously high. So if you're selling something for 20,000 shillings, alone a two-leg journey to town and back will cost you that money. So wow.
Yeah. So that's how I survived, and that's how I managed to come. But I put up the roof went the roof when before I came. The roof was I put the roof with that
Yes.
money. Put the roof, and then the windows, like one, 3 windows,
Yes.
and the front door, back door, and the rest I put all the other windows I put blocks back in.
Wow.
Here's the reason that
So
you see that.
I've seen a few pictures. Now let's, because the video is becoming too long, but now let's go briefly into the struggles of you coming to Uganda. As I can see by your background, you are living in unfinished house. Is that true?
Yes.
You are living pure village life in Uganda. That means with all the struggles it comes with. Do you have water in the house or you have to go fetch it somewhere? You don't
No,
have
we have to.
water?
No, we rely on rainwater, rain harvest, and we
Yes.
have we have a borehole about 20 minutes
Oh, okay.
away. Not
That's
bad.
doable. Yes.
Yeah, 20 minutes, 10 minutes to go, 10 minutes. But my neighbor has got a well. He dug a well.
Oh,
So I
okay.
get him to pump for me. At each pumping, he asks me for 20K. So when I sell my clothes, I buy
Oh, that's a
water.
lot of money.
I know. What can I do? It's either that or get for me to get water from the pump. It's even more.
Yes.
Yeah, it's even more. I think it's even more. I
Oh,
think
okay.
it's a jerrycan. Is it 3,000 or 300? One of the two. It was
Unbelievable.
more. It was more. And also to get somebody to get it for you, it's more.
Yes.
Mm.
It's more. So,
And the
Auntie
moment you get
Jackie.
and the moment you get people to get water for you, they think, oh, you're mugaganyo.
Ah, she has money
Imagine.
to pay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Mm.
So, Auntie Jackie, as we conclude this video, please let us know briefly how far are you with your house construction? How are you financing your house construction and surviving in Uganda? Have you gotten a job or you're trying to make ends meet? Also, of course, through your YouTube channel. And yeah, just give us a brief picture of how your life looks like right now,
Yeah. So
very briefly.
in
Yeah,
conclusion, I have been blessed, and I can't thank God enough that
yeah,
people from ugconnect and Lean Zabu, I think I
yes,
don't know if we can put their YouTube, if you're if you're
yes,
if you're willing to put their YouTubes there.
I will.
They have
Yeah.
they have come through to me because I didn't have a gate, and they helped me with the gate.
Oh, and that's
Uh,
very essential in Uganda. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted to. So the moment I got a gate, of course, there's more. It's not finished. I need to put
Yes.
like to raise my fence, and I put railings so I can. I'm doing the chickens now. I'm starting,
Ah, okay.
and I'm hoping I can get the money to do the fence. Then I
Yeah.
continue doing the chickens, and that's part of my income.
Yeah.
And then on YouTube as well. I've reached the threshold, so I just pray that I can be monetized soon.
Ah, you're not yet
Um,
monetized. Okay.
no, yeah. After this, I'll ring you and we can talk about it. So yeah,
Yes.
that's how I am. And that's it. So and then somebody else gave me money for electricity, for these electricity wires. As you can
Yes.
see, yeah, those, yeah, they have been put in, but no electricity has been pulled yet.
Ah.
Somebody gi- somebody has given somebody has given me money for to put in uh plumbing, but no
Yes.
water yet. Now, people are asking me, why are you jumping, jumping, jumping? Because somebody's giving money and they're telling me specifically what I
Yeah.
should do with it. And I'm not, I have to honor what somebody has given me.
Yeah.
If someone tells me, I want to help you with plumbing, I'm not going to
Then
take
you
the money
do
and put on
planning.
electricity. No, even if
Yeah.
I don't have electricity, because when one helps, that's what they have been called to do,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm doing. So that's why I'm doing it. Yeah. So that's why
No.
I am. But I'm so grateful. I'm like, oh my goodness me, I can't thank God enough.
Yes. Oh, my very last question. Very briefly, and with briefly, I mean briefly, British brief, not African brief. Auntie Jackie, for anyone watching you in the diaspora, someone who is of migrant background living in Europe, in America, in the UK, and is toying with the idea of going back home, what would be your advice to them? Would it be a yes or no? And if whatever it is, yes or no, give us two things that they should keep in mind that are important before someone makes the last decision to relocate back home.
If you've got a property, if you've got a way of income in UK, yeah, in UK and
Yeah,
in Uganda, and you want to come back, and it's time to come back our age, please come. There's no
yeah,
need for you to stay there. No one will call. Come and enjoy. That's it. If you don't have those things
yeah.
and you're still able to work in the UK, don't come. First make an
Okay.
income. First make a sort of livelihood here.
Yes.
And then don't build big. Build small,
Showing
small with
off.
the goal. It's
Yeah,
but those, we live in small houses in the UK. You think, let me go and rest. No, no, no,
yeah.
no. If you have nothing, do something small to start off with. Once that is done, then you can go and build big. Because me,
Okay.
I did not have that opportunity. I tried it, but they didn't. The person who had started it initially wasn't pushing it for me, and I needed to do
Yes.
something. The last person, if you're in the same situation I'm in, or even worse, please come. Please
Come
come
back
home.
home. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Auntie Jerky. For everyone that is watching right now and everyone that will be watching this video, very important to note this is a social empowerment channel. So I'm calling upon every one of you. Social empowerment means we uplift each other. So please head over to Auntie Jackie's YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link in my comments. I'm going
Yay.
to tag her. She'll repost that on her community. Go
Yes,
subscribe to her YouTube channel. Watch the videos. That is one way you
please.
can support her, because that is solely going to be at the moment her source of income. And if you are inclined to support her in any way, I'm sure you have contact details on your description on your YouTube, or you can even reach out to me and I'll give you
Yes,
the
yeah.
contact. But this being a social empowerment channel, please go and support her, please uplift her. And it starts with you and I. You help one person, the circle just closes, and at some point someone will also help you. So definitely support Auntie Jackie, share her videos, like them, comment. That helps the algorithm. And of
Yes,
course, for
please.
everything about the UK, about going back to Uganda, how she's fitting in, hurdles that she's faced, challenges that she's faced as a mother. I mean, she's a little bit older than me, so she has more experience. I'm sure you're going to be having amazing content on her channel. I'm dreaming of already some video ideas that I'll be telling her about,
Come
which
on,
I'm sure,
let's do it.
yes, that would benefit the people. So let's make it rolling. Go to her YouTube channel, support her. For any further questions, you can contact her through, I think, her email. What details do you have on your YouTube? Do you have like contact details?
It's email jmbesije@yahoo.co.uk, but I'll
Okay,
give it
I'll
to you.
put
Yeah.
it. So you can contact her by email or just ask me and I'll connect you people. Auntie
Thank
Jackie,
you.
thank you so much for
Thank you
spending
for
your time.
having me.
We all know what we've gone through before really making it here, the two of us.
But
Thank
it's
you so
well.
much.
It's well. It's well. God wanted
Yes,
us to do it this way. Look at how it's
this
come out
way.
now. Yeah,
No
it's well.
glitches at all. It's,
At
yeah.
all.
So I thank you so much. Keep
Thank
doing what
you.
you're doing. We'll definitely continue to support you. I hope that one time when I make it to Uganda, I'll make it to your village and come and visit you.
I'm
And
hoping I'm coming to Germany.
yes, and most important of all, I'm praying that your health gets better, that you take good care of yourself. I can see
Much
you're
better.
glowing
Sorry,
already.
my health is much. The moment I landed, it cleared.
Yes,
Pressure went,
amazing.
pains went. So I'm okay.
Yeah, so I'm really glad about that. We're ending this video, my lovelies, here to inspire, uplift, and empower you. Until next time, bye.
Bye.